I'm Katrina. This is Tare, and we freeze-dried bananas. There was a humongous sale on bananas, 10 for $1. Plus, I did some apples for my neighbor, and it was awesome. What we found is bananas that are of the taste that you like. That is the type that you should put in. Has a very similar taste, but sweeter coming out. It's awesome. Here's the process. All right, we have raviolis, bananas, and apples. So those are going in. I didn't do any preparations for the bananas or apples. It's just straight up cut it, put it on the tray, and we'll put them in. I love these little stackers, and I just keep them in the freezer. I wash them and put them back in the freezer so I know where they are, because they're just going to be used in the freezer. So I got a sale on bananas. They were 10 for $1, and they looked really bad, but they actually, a lot of them were underripe. There's some a little bit, perfect, I think, but then people think overripe. And there were some that were actually a little underripe. So we'll see how all these go. And the raviolis, I did puncture with a fork in hopes that that gives a little bit extra space to come out. They're not cooked, so these are raw. And there's ricotta and pear butter inside. There we go. I'm excited about this run. And we have more room for more things, which we have. We're gonna do squash next. All right, let's see how the bananas turned out. We also have ravioli and some apples in here. Open. Smells good. Bananas are out. That's pretty cool. It looks just like bananas, because it is. So let's try it. Here we go. That is not at all like a dehydrated banana. That's very good. You know how a dehydrated banana gets that like kind of extra too sweet? This doesn't have that. That's good. I think it's good as a snack. I also plan to try using this, kind of break them up and put them into bread like banana bread, but it would just be little chunks of banana. So I'm gonna try that as well. All right, let's store these. I'm gonna put these in a mason jar for snacking, and then I might put some of them into long-term storage. We'll see how many it takes to fill a jar. So this is 26 bananas I got on sale. There were 10 for $10, or 10 for $1, and that's a pretty good price, because 10 for $1, 26 bananas for $2.60 works for me. I was going to use a funnel on this, but it's easy enough to just pick them up. All right, so that's
Not quite a tray. It's not sticking, so I don't think you'd need the silicone trays for this, but I just use them for everything. They're better to clean up, easier to clean up. And honestly, if it's like this and it's like not too dirty, and I'm gonna throw something in again, I just flip this mat and use it again. I mean, I'm doing it for home use, so fine for me. Let's see if this is faster. I don't know where my big, I have a big blue funnel. I don't know where it is. Oh, it is sticking to this one though, so maybe the silicone is good. So this one, this silicone is the one from Freeze Drying Supplies, and it works. It's a little bit more sticky than the one from Harvest Right. Like they will stick to each other, but it does work just fine. So the rest of these bananas, I think I am going to put into long-term storage. I'll probably do 2 bags, I think, and then the jars ones will stay out, and then they'll be good. No matter how many there are in there, I am going to separate them into at least 2 bags, because, you know, they'll have stuff later. Today is the 11th. Looking at the apples. This is bananas and apples. The apple's brown just a little bit, but it looks pretty good. Let's try it. Tastes like an apple. It's good. I'm doing these apples for my neighbor. You're also gonna get some bananas. I do like using the candy funnel. I do have a bigger, like a big blue one, but I don't know where it is. I think this was just like 4 apples maybe, I don't remember exactly. All right, there's apples. All right, this is the last tray of bananas, and we did a little bit thinner slice here. I like the thicker slice. I guess it's stuck on that too, so I don't know why some of them are sticking, some aren't. I need to get some smaller bags so I can do more kind of smaller size of things. All right, we have one more thing to pull out here, and that is the pear butter and ricotta raviolis. So I didn't cook them. They were here, and I poked a fork in each of them so that it would have enough enough room to come out for the moisture to come out. Let's see how they turned out. They were in the freezer for quite a while, so I don't know if they got freezer burn or not, but that's how they turned out. They look good. They feel dry. I think I'm gonna take this middle one here and I'll test it. I'll break it open and I'll cook it and see how that works. And the rest of these I'll package up. So I labeled this pear butter and ricotta ravioli raw, just so I remember it is raw. It's breaking like it's I mean, it has all the moisture out, it looks like. All right. All right, we're gonna put oxygen absorbers in all these and seal them up. And we'll see how these guys right here, we'll see how those reconstitute. Now I expect the apples and bananas that we're giving to the neighbor to not be long term. They're probably gonna be snacks for the next week or two. So I'm not gonna put one of these in, but I will put them in all the rest of them. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and reseal. And try and get them down on the side here so they don't interfere with the lid closing. We'll see if that actually works for all of them. I'm going to check the seals after I've done all of them, just because I want these oxygen absorbers to not be out in the open for too long. Alright, checking the seal. Looks good. Feels good. Alright, those are good. So I have these things, food savers. I'll put a link in the description. I have one for regular and one for wide mouth. I really like these. You can use it with a food saver machine, or you can use it as a brake bleeder. I'll put a link for this too. I really think I should get one of those battery operated ones, but I just haven't done it yet, so maybe I'll get one. I'm going to come up to 10 pounds of pressure. I typically go to 15. I don't know why. You only need 10. And the more air you have in these, the more longer it will take you to get all the air out. It makes sense. Sometimes this comes out when you take it off. Just put it back in. So that little edge thing is like that. And we could label these. I guess I will label them. I mean, it's pretty obvious what's inside, but probably should have at least the date on it. If I had the battery one, though, I wouldn't get this forearm workout. Here's the other one for the wide one. And yes, this is the same brake bleeder as for a vehicle, but I've only used it for food. Okay. Alright, we are testing freeze-dried ravioli. I just have one here, and then I have a few pieces of one that I broke open to make sure it was actually dry. So my thoughts with doing this is that I could freeze-dry ravioli, and then it could go right into a pot of water, a pot of broth, and cook right up. I don't know how long it's going to take. So before I make a bunch of them, I want to test it out. I only made one tray. The bubbles are interesting to me. I'm not sure what's making the bubbles go. Maybe it's the ricotta cheese, or this is ricotta and pear butter on the inside, and this other one is broken up, so there is some of that in the water. It's still hard. Interesting, the water's popping up almost like frying oil would. I don't know if it's picking up on camera, but it's like jumping way up high. It's just water. Alright, I am wondering if maybe I should have cooked these before freeze drying them. They are not getting soft very quickly. This is just kind of cracking apart. This is why I did one tray. I didn't want to do a bunch of them. They're all in one bag, so I know what I have to deal with. It's still not there yet. I am going to turn off the heat and just let it sit in the hot water and see if that actually works. This might be one of those things that you cook first before freeze drying. And so that's why I'm doing a lot of these things kind of in small batches, like one tray at a time, or, you know, part of a tray or whatever, is to see how best it works. And I was thinking it'd be really, really fast, because homemade pasta cooks really extremely fast. But it looks like it's not rehydrating well, at least quickly, like I thought it would. So I am going, the next batch of raviolis I'll do a tray, and I will see if that actually rehydrates better once it is cooked and then freeze dried. Because if I could have ravioli just, you know, out of a package into the pot, that's a really, really fast meal. It's not fast if you're making it homemade. If you're making a tiny batch, maybe it's fast, but if you're making a big batch, it's not fast. So that's something that you can batch make and then go from there. So that's my plan, and didn't succeed with this yet, but I believe there is a way forward. So I'm gonna let it sit in the water, see what happens, and at some point, I'll make raviolis again at some point and get back to you on that process. If you have made raviolis and freeze dried them, let me know what you did. Did you cook them first and then freeze dry them? Did you freeze dry them without cooking them? And then also, what's your rehydration technique? So put it in the comments. Thanks for helping out.
So the ravioli did eventually rehydrate, and I think this might be a case of either cook it before, or it might need a slower rehydration technique, such as in cold water first, or maybe a towel, you know, a moist towel inside a Ziploc bag or something like that. It seems like this is something that can rehydrate. I just need to figure out how. So if you know, then help me out.
Well, there we go. We have bananas, apples, and ravioli. So I think both of these are really good. The bananas I've been wanting to try for a while, but I generally don't buy a whole lot of bananas at once, but this sale for 10 for $1 really was, it made it worth it. So anyway, these are good. I didn't do lemon juice on either one of them, and it turned out good, so yay. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it around, and let me know what you have freeze-dried in the comments. Let me know what does need lemon juice, what doesn't need lemon juice. We're gonna do guacamole coming up here soon. I know that needs lemon juice or lime juice, but I have lemons. So, share it around, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching.